All right, all you R18 tuners out there, you're probably clicking on this video because you're curious about how VTEC works on the R18 engine on the 8th gen Civic. We'll talk about the 8th gen R18 VTEC, the 9th gen R18 VTEC, and I'm going to tell you guys how I disable the VTEC portion of our engines so it's easier to tune, it's more efficient, and more consistent. So stay tuned for the entire video. All right, so 8th gen Civic VTEC system is just an economy VTEC lobe. It actually loses horsepower. It's meant for cruising, and I've talked about it in previous videos. You got your single overhead cam with two lobes. The main lobe is your performance lobe, and then when it transitions and crosses over to this iVTEC lobe, it's actually something for fuel efficiency. It has nothing to do with power. So if we disable this non-power economy cam, there are no drawbacks. I've done it myself. I'll tell you guys how to do it right now. 9th gen R18 Z1 VTEC is actually different. I was under the impression it was the same thing as our 8th gen Civic VTEC, but I guess it's not. And I'll give you guys examples of HONDATA and me tuning an 8th gen Civic and a 9th gen Civic, and you'll see for yourselves the differences. 9th gen Civics actually have real VTEC. It does create a little bit more power, but it's not like the old school Civic Si VTEC where it crosses over and then it stays in VTEC the whole way to redline. This VTEC is like a portional VTEC. It hits and then it goes away. Honestly, that 9th gen VTEC doesn't make sense to me. Neither does the 8th gen. It's all pointless. Fuel efficiency, okay, I get it. Fuel efficiency, yes, it makes some sense, but performance, it does not. So let's jump into HONDATA, boys and girls, right now. We're talking about the 8th gen Civic right now. We got a couple locks pulled up right here, and I'm gonna show you guys a stock pull right here, right, with VTEC turned on. So if we go under calibration and if we go under where is it, VTEC, we can see the parameters here that are factory built in. Between 1100 RPM and 3500 RPM, it's crossing over to this VTEC economy cam under stable driving conditions, right? When you're cruising on the highway or something like that, it has its parameters that make the car jump into this VTEC window. So you can run it like this, or you can actually disable it, right? And I'm going to show you guys factory, right? This is the factory setting, and we're going to look at this log right now. And I'm showing you this log using a map-based tune because you guys will visually see what I'm talking about. You can also disable this VTEC using a mass airflow sensor tune, but it just won't show you what I'm trying to show you right now. With a map tune, right, using the map fuel tables, we can have these fuel low, fuel high tables. Fuel low, again, is our performance cam on the R18 8th gen Civic, and you can see the fuel tables are wacky right here. And then if you go on the high cam, right, the high speed fuel table, you can see our VTEC table right here. And that VTEC, like it said, it's activated during only low RPMs, and you can see that during some driving at these RPMs, my VTEC economy fuel efficiency cam was activated. So that way you can clearly see from this tune, I got both lobes working and it's transitioning between both while driving, right? So how would you disable the VTEC crossover, right? So one thing you can do, I personally thought 3500 was a little bit too high. One thing you can do is, let's say, lower the upper parameter of the VTEC, right? So it's like specifically hitting when you're in low cruising RPMs. It was 3500. At 3500, if you're running a turbo Civic, you're already in boost. You don't want to be in an economy cam at all. So that's one way you could do it if you just want to lower the VTEC window. But if you just want to eliminate it altogether, what you're going to do, and this is what I did, you just set a crazy absurd number like 15,000, right? 15,000 front, the lower and upper limit, which obviously your car will never hit. And because it will never hit those RPM limits, it's never going to transition into the economy VTEC. And that's exactly what I did. These are the exact specs I'm running with the 15. And this is the latest log I actually did. And check it out. If we go back on calibration, if we go back on fuel, right? I disabled VTEC. So now look, you can still see my low cam, right? Which is my performance cam right over here. It's giving us closed loop feedback right here. But if we hit the high speed fuel table, you see absolutely nothing because it never got activated. We're always running on our low cam lobe, which is our performance cam lobe, and there's no hesitation between transitions. You're just not having any hiccups that might occur. One cam, performance cam. To be honest with you guys, I haven't noticed any reduction in fuel or anything. Honestly, I feel like almost the car is a little bit more stable while driving. Sometimes I would get this weird transition around 2,500 RPMs in third gear where it would just suddenly pick up. So I don't know if it was coming out of the high cam to the low cam and then I get a boost of power, but all in all, disabled it. There are no problems driving the vehicle whatsoever. You don't even know. But these tables tell you the story that it's actually disabled. So that's the 8th gen Civic R18 A1 or A2 VTEC cancellation mode right here. Go ahead, try it out for yourselves, guys. And again, like I said, you can run this VTEC cancellation with an AFM table or a map table. It doesn't matter. Now let's talk about the 9th gen Civic R18 Z1 VTEC, right, which actually has a real crossover, but it's so weird because it's got a real crossover. Like I said, it's only lasting for a short period window, and if you look at the power output of the 8th gen and the 9th gen, they're almost identical, one horsepower difference, which again, this VTEC makes no sense for me. So this is the map, so this is right here a table for the 9th gen Civic. And if we go into calibration, let's go into VTEC for this one. Look, the VTEC table looks a lot different. It activates at 3,300 and deactivates at 4,500. It's a weird window for VTEC activation. If you're trying to make more power out of this VTEC, why not just keep it going to redline? It doesn't make sense. Again, I'm not too familiar with 9th gens, but as a general rule, it actually does provide some performance benefits. And if we go back on fuel, the low table, again, is your regular driving table, right? That's what we were able to log. Again, this is a turbo 9th gen preliminary tune. As you can see, he's running hella rich, going into boost. And let's go back into our high speed table right here, and you can see the actual parameters are set higher, but it's after that window it goes back into the low cam. So it's essentially going from low cam to high cam back to low cam, which to me, that doesn't make any sense. And for the 9th gen Civic, I mean, this is probably not something you want to disable. You guys can mess around disabling it, but unless you have a dyno where you can actually see the benefits of keeping the car all in a low cam or a high cam, you're not going to really be able to tell just by your butt dyno. So on 9th gens, I really wouldn't mess around with that. On 8th gens, guys, definitely disable that VTEC parameter. It will help you guys make sure you have a smoother response from your vehicle. You won't have to tune two fuel tables, right? You'll just tune the low side of the fuel and you'll be done with that. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. If you have any questions, comments, jot them down below. I appreciate you guys supporting me. So all those thumbs up you guys leave and the subscriptions are helping me grow, helping me make more of these videos, expand some knowledge among YouTube with the R18 platform, because we all know we're so limited on that. And I appreciate you guys again. If you want to check out my Instagram at BULLI Kid, I do a lot of stories and uploads there that you don't see on YouTube, whether it's tuning or some other stuff. So check that out. Follow me on Instagram as well. And on that note, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cold. You might need a sweater too. I'ma put a ride on ya. Kid from California, trying to make it in life. In school they never taught ya. Dreams